Moments at the Keys.
And it goes, da-da-dee-da.
Shaped Lonnie Liggett's career.
Suddenly I get this call, and I said, I've been selected for the Lifetime Achievement Award for Who's Who. It's the executive spotlight. I got the top of all of them.
But the top of the scale won't prepare him for this next verse.
With dementia, then you have these things that need to be filled in, kind of. Music has ability then to fill these in so that you feel complete.
Music lives in the part of the brain that is last to go for those with dementia. Diagnosed in August, he turned to tunes for support and to his wife, Jean Liggett.
Well, I've learned that he is very determined. I've seen changes in him.
Who, 2 days after his diagnosis, received her own.
I found that I'd had a reoccurrence of uterine cancer.
Oh.
It was terrible.
It was unbelievable.
Very devastating.
Unbelievable.
Lonnie didn't know what to do.
I think it's like Beethoven said,
He found the answer in the notes.
music is the entrance into higher knowledge. I've always been thinking about the next opera, the next concert, the next piece of music and so on like that, and I've stopped thinking that way now.
Not worrying about the future, living now, helping lead a choir unlike any he's ever worked with before.
And we have stories to tell you today about courage and stories about hope.
About struggle.
As I'm slowly having more and more memory problems, more and more of those things showing up.
She hasn't in any ways changed. However, she's still our mom.
Never suspected Alzheimer's. Why would we?
As if oxygen is not reaching my brain.
Just doesn't seem fair.
She's amazed us with her happy and accepting.
That's what dementia does, you know, eats you up. So we bonded, didn't we? We bonded as a choir.
The singers are those dealing with dementia and Alzheimer's and their caregivers.
If you have dementia, a lot of the bad memories don't stay too long. I'm happier now than a lot of the times when I was carrying a lot of baggage.
Lonnie and Jean don't know what the future will bring. All that's certain is this moment.
Rather than expecting things to happen or being sad about things that happen, you tend to live more in the moment. And that's the moment that you have yourself.
For Channel 2 News, I'm Samie Solina. If only the rain fell sooner. Then Al Fisher might not be living in a campsite.
Well, I've got an 8x14 tent in this 12x14 awning, which a neighbor referred to as a redneck man cave, because I have a recliner in it.
Not much for entertainment here, which is fine for Al because when the rain lets up, it's back to work.
It was quiet and peaceful. It kind of looks like a war zone now.
Missing his home of 40 years, his dog of 13.
When the last time I saw her, she was underneath the house. There was like firemen all around the house, and she was freaking out. She was on her last legs, so.
His cars, his beloved tools.
Before the fire, I'd be using a battery-operated drill right now.
The McKinley fire took what he had, so he's rebuilding by hand, just like he did with his cabin before. He has no choice. He has no insurance.
None whatsoever, no.
He said that's the case for many of his neighbors as well. But this Vietnam veteran is resilient. He has to be, with fall right around the corner.
This is the old cabin, the remnants of it.
A neighbor dug this pit for him. Fire crews check up on him daily.
And I've had friends offer to help. I've got a lot of friends here.
But rain is falling and winter is coming, so he'll find a way. For Channel 2 News, I'm Samie Solina.
Company.
The 9th Army Band.
Attention.
They're maintaining tradition.
To capture that sense of tradition, that's really what ceremonies are about.
When I think of tradition and the Army Band, I think of the ceremonial bands, and they're outside and they're marching.
So the 42 band members march and hold concerts regularly. And as important as tradition is, these musicians don't exactly live in the past.
Long gone are the days of just sitting on stage and playing to march. We want to play what's popular. We want to be able to connect to all ages.
This is the 9th Army Band's rock group.
Music is an international language, and it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from. Everybody speaks pretty much the same language.
So they're taking their rock on a roll. They visit schools and head out in the community.
We have an ability to connect with the public here in Anchorage that's a little different than any of the other soldiers.
They want the public to see past the tanks and weaponry. And of course, carry on the tradition of past Army bands, but maybe with help of a current selection of music. For Channel 2 News, I'm Samie Solina.